Before we start, we'd like to thank our sponsors, gumballheaven.com. Do you like gum? If you do, you better check out gumballheaven.com and order yourself or your business a gumball machine with the yummiest gumballs ever. Gumballheaven.com will hook you up.
And we would also like to thank MiguelHernandezLaw.com, the best lawyers in California. If you do a lot of drugs, get into trouble, make poor decisions like robbing banks, or if you get arrested and you're innocent, give them a call. MiguelHernandezLaw.com. If you need a lawyer, you need them.
Puts the lotion on its skin. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Unlucky Survivors podcast. I'm Caden.
And I'm Julie, and we are the Twister Sisters.
And happy Thanksgiving!
Happy Thanksgiving!
Today we have the lovely Grandpa.
Hi, Papa.
Hi, girls.
Sorry. Say that once more.
Hi, girls.
And today we'll be asking him. Well, we'll talk a little bit about Thanksgiving. I gotta.
Okay, then let's start off with
Thanksgiving.
What we're thankful for.
Okay, what are you thankful for, Grandpa?
Yes.
I'm thankful for the two little granddaughters who live next door to me.
A little closer, please.
They're so cute.
Okay, Cam, what are you thankful for?
Wi-Fi.
Is that it?
And my horse and my family and a ton of stuff. Can you talk a little closer too, Grandpa? Sorry.
All right.
Okay. What about you, Julie?
I'm thankful for family, and I'm thankful for my computer, and I'm actually thankful for how to be able to write things down because I like writing stories, like imagination in general. I'm grateful for the ability to think.
For the ability to think. Good one, actually.
Woohoo! The ability to think, and family and friends. Oh yeah, we can't forget about friends. But practically, Josh and Jackie are family.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're going to be talking about like the military, and I have no idea what these other questions are, but I think I get the gist. So, like traveling.
Wait, do you have the questions?
Whatnot. Yes, well, Grandpa has questions too. So, starting off with the first one, going with the military, why did you join?
I joined because I was young and I was kind of crazy and I didn't know what I was doing. But I joined.
Okay. How old were you when you joined?
I told you I was young. I was 19.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I gotta...
Sorry, I didn't mean to lip smack. It's a habit.
Lip smack. Okay, go
on. Heard it. Were you scared?
I was more nervous than I was scared. I didn't know what to expect. I was young. I'd never been away from home. And I was going to be going away from home. So, yeah, I was nervous.
Okay, you can ask the next question.
Can you tell us about the day when you went to sign up with the military? Like, what were you feeling? Were there any particular people that stood out to you?
Well, yes. I was a sophomore in college. And I was just finishing my sophomore year. And two of my friends had decided to join the military. And I hadn't decided yet. And they talked me into it. They said we can go into intelligence, the intelligence section of the Air Force. Excuse my lip smack there. Excuse me. And I said, oh, okay. So we joined, and we were going to go into languages. And so I remember going in with them. We signed, and I remember my hands were shaking as I signed my name. And then I had enlisted. So, yeah, it was quite a day.
Who was there with you?
I had two friends. One was a young man by the name of Tom Wold, and another one by the name of Norman Andrews. The three of us joined together thinking we were going to stick together.
Oh, you didn't stick together, did you?
As it turned out, no, we didn't. We went to opposite ends of the earth.
Oh, wait, each of you? Or did like two go to one side and...
We all went to different places.
Where'd you go?
I went to Okinawa, Japan.
Ooh. Okay,
I want to speak Japan.
We have some questions about Japan, but we'll get down to that.
Okay.
Can you remember when I said I want to be Japanese when I grow up? I meant to say I want to speak Japanese.
Can you tell us like about your boot camp? Exactly what do you do at boot camp? Is this just intense training and whatnot?
Do they wake you up in the like at 6 a.m. with the Trumpet,
Well, kind of like that. They came in the middle of the night with a garbage can, metal garbage can, banging on it and saying, "Get up, you scumbags, you pieces of you know what." And we had to jump out of our beds and get dressed and form outside, and that's how we used to get up sometimes. And it was mostly they scared us a lot. Boot camp was an intense training. Yeah, it's like going out for athletics, but 10 times worse because they just really, really poured it on, and they yelled in your face and they called you every name in the book. Some guys actually cried, and I just shook in my boots and just took it.
Just going on with that, did you walk under it'd be like mud at the bottom and then there'd be barbed wire? I'm just going stereotypical, but did they actually make you do that?
That was not part of the obstacle course. We had other things in the obstacle course, which was we swung across a pond of water, and some of us didn't make it, and some of us ended up in the pond and had to crawl out. But I was very athletic, so I did pretty well.
Yay!
Can you tell us about some others? The obstacles they had, or the weather conditions? How was the ground?
The ground was very muddy. The weather was very cold because I was there in towards the end of September, and I remember the cold had already come in. When I first went, it was very, very hot. Then it suddenly turned cold. We didn't do the obstacle course till the end of our boot camp, and by that time it had gotten very cold. And we had a wall that we used to have to climb over. We had to run a course. We had to swing across a pond. We had to, oh my goodness, there were so many different obstacles. But that was, it was exciting. I was in good shape.
Was it like an everyday thing? Would you do it 7 days a week? For how many hours? Would you do it like at night sometimes, or switch it up with the morning and the evening?
We had some night marching, but most of the PE, which is physical education or PT, they called it, physical training, was in the morning. They'd get us up really early in the morning, about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, march us to the mess hall, which is where we ate. We'd eat a quick breakfast, and they'd march us across the base to get our shots or do something for the military. And then we'd have to wait a long time because where we went didn't open till 8. So we'd have to wait several hours, and it was cold in the morning. I remember that.
So you just had to just stand there or sit, or?
We were standing there, and the sergeant would let the guys who smoke, and I didn't smoke, so I just had to stand there. And
couldn't bring like a book or anything?
Nope, just had to stand there.
Dang. Did you have a gun on you?
Not at that point. I got a rifle later on. I never had a handgun.
Oh, I want to learn how to use a rifle.
What type of other weapons did you have, or was that the only one?
I had a carbine, I'm sorry. And we had to qualify on the shooting range, and I was pretty good. I got 57 out of 60, so I didn't qualify as a sharpshooter, but I was pretty darn close.
Yep.
And the physical training, I got a heads up from my brother who had gone through the military and had gone to boot camp. He had told me that you better be in good shape when you go, otherwise you're going to be really hurting. So I signed up. I enlisted in June, but didn't have to leave till September. So all summer long, I just really, really trained athletically, and I could do push-ups, sit-ups. I ran a lot. So when I got to basic training, it was like nothing. The other guys were up there huffing and puffing, and they could barely make it. I was just having a good old time.
Oh, cool.
Nice. It was wise to spend your summer training.
It was. They made me a squad leader.
Woohoo! Oh. You just answered the next question.
Yeah, well, the sergeant noticed that I was a natural athlete, and he said, well, you're going to be a squad leader. Well, I was a squad leader of the shortest squad because, I was only 5'8".
What is a squad leader exactly?
He's just
yes.
The leader?
Well, he's the guy in charge of his squad, and if the sergeant wants something from your squad, he goes to the squad leader. The squad leader goes to the squad or the individual members and tells them what the sergeant needs, and we have to answer to the sergeant, but the squad leader is responsible.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, Caden, like squad leaders like Hanji and Levi.
Yeah.
If any of the guys in the squad act up and whatever, the sergeant goes up after the squad leader and says, "Get your men in line here."
Okay, so were okay, I'm saying it. Were there any bullies?
Yes, meanie beanies.
Or like any wimps in particular?
Well, there were some bullies, yes. I remember one in particular who was a big guy, and he was pushing me around, and he wasn't in my squad, he was in the next squad, and he thought that because he was bigger and stronger than I was, he could push me around. But I had a friend in that squad who was just as big as him, and he gave that guy the message that he's not to mess with me, so I got through okay.
Yay! You have a good friend.
He was a good friend, yes.
Yep. What is a blanket party? Haha, I get to ask the next question.
Do you guys like set up blanket forts and just do all this fun stuff? You talk about like all the girls you like, have some popcorn. Do you ever paint your nails? Wait, did you
A blanket party is where everybody puts a blanket around their head and goes around and yells and screams and goes down the stairs and scares everybody. I'm kidding. Well, that's not what a blanket party is.
That is sleepover.
Sounds like a good.
A blanket party is when there is a person who is just being a total jerk with everybody else and just messing up a lot and causing the sergeant to get mad. When they go to bed at night, the other guys who want to get even with him will come and put a blanket over his head so he can't see, and everybody just starts punching and hitting and the person, so he's all full of lumps and bumps, and he doesn't know who hit him because the blanket was over his head. That's why it's called a blanket party.
Were you ever a part of a blanket party, like one of the guys who punched him?
Or were you the one, the victim?
Yes. I was neither a victim nor a member of a blanket party, but I saw maybe 2 blanket parties when I was in basic training. No, come on, girls, you got to believe me.
I believe you.
Okay, good.
Do I?
Yes, I hope you do.
Okay. Where did you go after boot camp?
After boot camp, I was assigned temporary duty there at the duty. D-U-T-Y. Okay, let's not get funny here. At the
Mature.
end of yes, let's be mature. I was assigned as temporary duty on base there in Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas, where I had my basic training. To the MP squad, military police. They had a building where they had all their military policemen and everything, and they assigned me to keep it clean. And so I would push a broom and clean bathrooms and make everything right, and so that when people came in, the officers and the sergeants and whoever, they could make sure that their building was clean. It turned out that I was such a hard worker that I made a big difference, because I scrubbed and the floor like nobody had ever scrubbed it before, and I got rid of all the ugly, dirty wax and made it really clean, and then I re-waxed it, and it was shining like a brilliant star. And a sergeant came in, and he could not believe his eyes.
He cried. Happy tears.
He told me that if I applied myself like that in civilian life later on, that I would be a success. And so I remember getting a nice compliment like that.
Levi would approve. I'm sorry.
He's a character from...
Yes, he's a clean freak.
All right. But that was good.
What is DLI, like Defense Language Institute? Jinx.
Oh, Defense Language Institute.
Like
And tell us about it, please.
It's local here in Monterey County. It's up in Monterey, up on the top of Franklin Street in Monterey. And it's a military base where they teach languages. And I have to back up a little bit. When my friends and I went into military, we expected to go into languages, but my friends didn't have any aptitude for languages, and I did. And they gave us all an examination, the whole base, and I was one of the few that passed. My friends didn't pass, and so I got to go into languages, and so they picked Mandarin Chinese for me.
Oh, wow.
And I was assigned to Defense Language Institute. And I was 20 years old when I got there. And it was intense training for about 8 months. And it's right up here on the top of the hill. And they teach Arabic, they teach German, they teach Japanese, everything. And they happened to teach me Mandarin Chinese.
I want to learn Japanese. Was it tough?
It was very intense, and I would say it was tough. But after you were really in it for a while and you absorbed it, it became part of you.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like when you're reading, when you're younger, you just learn how to do it.
Yep.
Do you still know any?
I know very little. That was over 45 years ago.
How do you say happy birthday?
I don't know.
How about happy Thanksgiving?
How about just hi?
Okay, go.
Ning hao.
What about bye?
Or 我不知道. That means I don't know.
Thank you.
谢谢你.
You're welcome.
Okay, say every word you can.
Bye.
Okay, that's enough, girls.
Okay. We heard that you had a bad argument with the teacher.
Bye.
Dun dun dun. What happened?
Well,
Details.
That was embarrassing. But it didn't happen at the DLI. It happened the DLI West Coast. That's up here in Monterey. I went to the DLI school in Fort Meade in Maryland, and where they were teaching me Vietnamese. And my heart wasn't in it, so I was just kind of goofing off. The instructor one day gave a test, and I wasn't ready for it, and I got an F. One of the few Fs I've ever gotten in my life.
Grandma got an F?
I got an F. But here's what the real problem was.
I didn't think it was possible.
I didn't think so either, because I was full of myself. I didn't think I could do that. So to kind of play it off, I got my result back the next day, and it had an F on there. And I go, oh. So I put another leg on the F, made it an A, and I showed my buddy next to me, I got an A. And what the problem was is that I didn't know it was going to be collected. And the instructor came by and collected it, and I go, oh. And when he saw that I had changed it, he just chewed me out, threw me out, and sent me to the commander. And so I went to the commander, and the commander said, I hear you have a problem with instructor so-and-so. I go, well, actually, I don't. He has a problem with me, and I explained to him what the problem was, what I had done. He kind of laughed, and he says, hey, how would you like to go back to your old assignment, Mandarin Chinese, instead of Vietnamese? Because studying Vietnamese, they were going to send me to Vietnam.
Oh, wow.
And there was a war going on in Vietnam, so it worked out okay. So then the colonel sent me to Fukuoka, Japan, and I had my last year in the military in Fukuoka, Japan.
Can you tell us what happened there? How did you fly? Did you have to drive? Take certain boats? Blah blah blah.
Okay.
How long were you there?
I went to Japan. I was 1 year in Okinawa and 1 year in Japan proper, the main islands. And Okinawa is a small island that's part of Japan. But anyway, on the second half of my tour, I was in Japan, and it was our base was right there at Fukuoka Bay, and there was a ferry that would leave from our side of the bay to go across to the main.
Here, excuse me real quick. I'm gonna go try and get my dog to be quiet.
Should we just stop it?
You keep talking.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Keep
Wait, what happened?
I don't know.
Wait, continue.
Okay. And there was a ferry boat that would take us maybe about 10, 15 minutes to go across the bay in this ferry boat. And I used to love to, when I was not on duty, I would catch the ferry and go across to the Fukuoka and just catch a cab or walk and just explore the city. It was a very large city.
Was it pretty?
It was beautiful. Right there by this Fukuoka Bay, and it had a lot of beautiful sights, and had a lot of jazz clubs at night. That as a young man, by that time I was 21, I really enjoyed the jazz bars.
Cool. Okay. Okay.
All right. So where are we at? What's the next question?
Wait, you already explained Japan. Wait,
I didn't get to hear any of it. Okay.
Wait. He said he answered like 3 questions already. I need to
go through your questions fast. Let's see. Did you have any rice balls? I don't know. I'm just coming up with questions.
What is wrong with the microphone?
I have to have it really turned up so they can hear Grandpa.
I thought I was talking loud. Okay. When I was in Japan, I tried just about every kind of food that they had. Food that I had never eaten before, that I did not think that I would like, but it was very good. And I remember when I went to Okinawa the first time, it was in the middle of winter, and we left San Francisco, and I was dressed in warm, light clothes because it was 70 degrees outside. Mm-hmm. And I just got on the plane, nice big 727, and we flew up to Alaska, and then we were going to fly over to Japan. But remember, this was winter. Mm-hmm. And so I got off the plane, and to my surprise, it was 2 degrees.
Wow.
And I was just in a short sleeve shirt, and oh my gosh, it was so cold. I've never been that close. I went from 70 degrees to 2, just like that. And then that's when I first went to Okinawa.
Was it snowing?
Up in Alaska it was. It wasn't in San Francisco.
Wait, has it snowed in San Francisco?
Pardon?
Has it snowed in San Francisco?
Oh, well, I'm sure it has, but not very often. When I went to Fort Meade, I landed in winter there also, and it was in Washington D.C. where we landed, and it was so bitter cold. And I thought I had a nice warm coat, but the coldness went right through to my bones. And I'd never, other than Alaska, that was the coldest place I'd ever been.
Okay, this is kind of...
Okay, so going back to the food, sorry, but I want to say this before I forget. Going back to the food, have you eaten Dango?
I don't know what that is.
Okay, so they're like these, but they're kind of pale colored.
Wait, we should sing a song.
And they're on a stick.
Okay, let's sing the song.
They're on a stick.
Let's sing the song.
And they're filled with vegetables and meats?
I don't know.
Let's sing the song. Dango, 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 daikazoku. I don't know. Okay.
Yes. I'm sure I eat something like that.
Okay. Off topic question for me. Do you still like the snow? Do you like snow?
Do I like the snow? I like to visit it, but I don't like it all around me. When I was, I had a case in Chicago where I had to travel there a lot. And it lasted almost a year, but it was a lot of it was through winter, and the snow was so high. We'd be driving down the road, and the snow would be higher than the car, and we'd have to go through maze just to get to a parking lot. And it's very, very strange. And then in a couple of days, it was all mushy and black. Yeah. So I don't care that much for snow per se, but I do like to go up to the mountains and visit snow.
I don't think I'd like snow in a city, snow. But I think I like it more in the like mountains and stuff.
I love snow.
You know who also loves snow?
Me.
Lorelai Gilmore.
Yes.
You know, Ken, how it's like the storm provides. Lorelai, it's like the snow provides. It's just like that to Lorelai from the Gilmore Girls.
And the Good Dinosaur.
What the? Technical difficulties, everyone.
There's the birds that go down and they look for the wounded, and they're like, oh, look at this sweet little baby raccoon. He's like, before he says, oh, my favorite quote is blah blah blah, the storm provides, and he's like, yes, so cute, and he eats it really quickly.
Oh.
And he's like, told you, the storm provides.
The storm provides. Very
the
funny.
Storm provides.
So what is this we hear about a donut and Dr. Pepper?
Wait, what? I didn't notice that.
All right. Well, your daddy has a big mouth. Because I told your dad about this. When I was in the military, especially when I was in Japan, I used to, on my time off or whatever, if let's say I wasn't in Fukuoka, the city, I'd stay on base and I'd go to the snack bar there on base. And I always had a maple bar, my favorite. And my favorite drink at that time was Dr. Pepper. So I'd have a donut or a maple bar and a soda, Dr. Pepper. I remember being in the snack bar on July 21st of 1969, and Neil Armstrong was landing on the moon. And that was so exciting because the whole world was holding its breath as man was going to land or going to step onto the moon. And I remember that day. And 1 year later, I was meeting your grandmother for the first time. And because I was out of the military 1 year later, and just before July 21st, I met your grandmother. Well, she wasn't your grandmother at that time. The lady that was going to be my wife, to later become your grandmother. I met her and fell instantly in love, and I ended up getting married with her. And she told me, "Go away, you're not my type." She said I was a nerd.
Oh, a lot of people are nerds. Like,
I'm a geek.
yeah, more of a geek.
Caden, you're a dork.
But you know you're a dork when Grandma calls you a dork.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait.
Do you have any friends, like, in the military? Do you still keep in touch with any?
Yeah.
The only friend that I keep in touch with from the military was my friend Tom, the one that I went in with. He became a medic in the military, and he was stationed in England.
Ooh.
And then when he came back and I came out of the military, he stayed in and decided he wanted to become a doctor. And so the military paid for him to become a doctor, and they sent him to medical school. And then he ended up coming out of the military and then becoming a reserve military, and he stayed working for the military as a doctor. And I've known him all these years, and he and I still get together maybe once or twice a year.
Yay.
Does he live in California, or?
Yes, he lives in Sacramento. I think you've probably met him because he and his wife have been down to visit us, and maybe you were little and you don't remember him, but
I don't know.
But yes, I stay in touch with him.
Wait.
Oh, how long were you in the military?
Wait. Besides the friends that you went in with, but you didn't. Did you make any friends like in the military?
Yes.
Like teacher's pet?
I had a friend in the military, and this is a bad story. This is bad of me. He was one
Story
of
time.
he was one of these. I don't know how to obsessive compulsive persons who would have his desk or where he had his stuff, and he'd have it all in order, and you'd open your locker and he'd have everything in order, and you couldn't move anything because he was too uptight about anything being moved. One time when he went to go take a shower, I decided to play a little trick on him, and I moved everything around in his locker. I didn't take anything. They were just in different places. And then he comes back and he opens his locker and he just stares in there. He starts to reach for something, he stares, and I'm cracking up. I'm laughing, and a couple of the other guys who saw what I had done, they were laughing too. And he just starts to curse and says, "Who's the blankety blank who did this?" And I had to raise my hand. I said, "That was me, I'm sorry." But that was a prank that I pulled on this friend. His name was...
Were you really sorry?
I was. I didn't know that he'd get that upset. His name was Paul, and I'm still in touch with him by mail, but we don't. I think we exchange Christmas cards once a year.
It's Thanksgiving. Okay, Thanksgiving's over. It's Christmas.
No, Thanksgiving's not over. We're still celebrating.
Okay, it's
In Europe, it's over. I don't know. I don't know the time, so I actually don't even know if it's over.
Caden, you being cray-cray. Anyways, how long were you in the military?
I was in the military almost 4 years, and that's 4 long years. But looking back on it, it was just like a flash in the pan. It just happened so fast. But at the time, I thought it was a long, long time.
You were in the Air Force, weren't you?
I was in the Air Force.
What'd you do there?
I was a Chinese linguist. I was we listened to the Chinese on the radio waves and for military purposes.
Oh, okay.
So I was kind of like a spy.
No, can you sing it soon? You sing it soon. It's like,
Okay, go.
Secret
I don't know what she's saying.
agent man.
Okay, just ask the next question.
Oh, I have a couple. So you would just be a spy and listen to them? Would you actually do, like, secret missions with, I don't know, shurikens and shadow swords, and then you'd be, like, wear these invisible cloaks or something?
And it was very boring. It was just, we listened, we taped, we transcribed, and we sent the material back to the United States. It was pretty boring.
Okay. Well, I already asked that. Any good memories there? Any good and any bad? What were the worst?
Dun, dun.
What were the funnest? What were the
In Okinawa, I remember I have some really good memories of Okinawa on my days off. Now, you got to remember, this was just an island, and it wasn't very populated, and it wasn't very industrialized. So I used to catch a bus up to northern Okinawa and just get off and walk on foot and go into the little villages and take pictures of the little kids and different scenes. But other days when there'd be a storm coming and it was near the base, I would take a walk down the trail and go out to the cliff and climb down to like a cave that faced the ocean.
Oh.
And I'd sit on the edge of this cave and just let the wind hit me, and I could hear the roar of the storm and the waves hitting down below and everything. That was exciting. I liked that. But that was kind of crazy too.
Okay, so we'll go off with the last question right now. Why did you leave?
And actually, I want to have another question after that.
Okay.
All right. Why did I leave? Well, because when I was in the military, I always felt like the government owned me, like I was government property. And I didn't really have any real freedom. I mean, I did have free time, but I didn't have any freedom in the sense that I couldn't do anything and everything I wanted. I was responsible for my job. I was responsible to the United States Air Force, and I couldn't do anything to embarrass the Air Force and whatever. And so I just felt completely owned, and so I wanted to be free as a person, and so I left, and I went to Fresno, and I met the woman that was going to be my wife there.
Yay. Okay, so my last question is improv question. Wait.
Go.
Yeah, improv. Anyways, wait. I'm not sure how to say this, but if you met or saw someone going to the military who was going to go to the military, what advice would you give them?
Yeah.
Okay. I gave them the same advice that I gave, that my brother gave me. That was your cousin, Michael, the one that lives in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. Is he your uncle or is he your cousin? I think he's your cousin.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's my godfather.
He's your godfather, and he's your mother's nephew. So I guess he's your cousin. Yeah. Anyway, when he told us that he was going into the military, he had enlisted. In fact, I think he went into the Air Force.
Mm-hmm. He works there.
I told him, Michael, you have to get in. You have to train, get yourself really in shape, and he did. And I think he flew through basic training like I did. So that's the advice I would give you going into the military.
That's good advice. Okay, Ken, you want to do your outro before I steal it away from you?
Okay. Gotta get ready. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for coming to us watching. Thank you, Grandpa, for coming. Really enjoyed listening to you talk about the military and being a veteran and all that kind of cool stuff. And Thanksgiving, too.
I wanted to talk about you girls, but I guess that'll be for another time.
Yes, I'm worried this is going to die, so I'm ending.
Okay.
Because I'm at the last battery. Okay, so just want to thank everyone once again. Be sure to subscribe. Check out our other social media. We have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter,
our Snapchat, our Pinterest, our Tumblr. We don't have any of those.
No. Though we do have a DeviantArt. I have to check it, though. So be sure to subscribe, and we shall see you soon. And thank you again, Grandpa. Happy Thanksgiving.
You're
Happy
welcome.
Thanksgiving.
Bye. Happy
Turkey
Thanksgiving.
Day.
Bye-bye.
Happy Turkey Day. Bye.
Bye. You gotta go. Grandpa, you gotta join in.
Okay. On 3. 1, 2, 4, 3. Bye.
Bye.
We broke the microphone. Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, wait.